left you guys off with all the trim and everything off, and as you can tell, started sanding on all the spots that need some filler. And I went ahead and used rust treatment on this. As you can tell, it turned like all the bare metal, or a lot of the bare metal, black, or like a bluish purple, like dark color. So that means that it's working, I guess. So just getting ready to do all the scary stuff, I guess. Well, the scary stuff is really cutting the metal, but when there's paint on the car and you're like, even though that there's a dent, when you're grinding it off, it makes it look a lot scarier than it really is, but it has to be done, or obviously it's gonna show up. So just getting ready to mix up some filler and hit all these spots. And I went ahead and scuffed it up with like 220 grit, which is pretty light. So I think that I'll just go ahead and do that and then go back over it. Well, because all the spots where I really need it to stick have been like grinded, so they're a lot more, it's a lot more abrasive where the bodywork needs to be at. And then I'm gonna be feathering it from the bodywork, and then also I'm gonna put filler primer on top of that. So where all the 220 marks are, I'll be feathering those out. So 220 is plenty for primer to stick to, so I should be just fine with that. But I'm just gonna go ahead and start spreading some filler. So as you guys just saw, I spread all the body filler and I let it dry for a while. So I'm probably gonna start sanding on this, sadly. It's gotta be done. I sand a crap ton at my job, so like I'm used to it, but like, you know, doing more of it's never that fun. So I'm probably gonna start with 80 grit or so, and then end up going down to 180. And I just want to take the scratches out gradually, and then I'm going to use that filler primer like I mentioned earlier, and hopefully that will fill enough to where I can just wet sand it in 400 and it will be smooth enough to just wrap over from there. And it'll, like, after we're done, you'll just see primer all around these areas, and that'll just be feathered out smooth with the rest of the panel. So I've got a lot of sanding to do, and I will check back in once the stuff's flat. Clarify, the reason why I'm basically treating it like I would be painting the car, like taking it to where there's only 400 grit scratches in it. That's because 400 grit doesn't show up in paint, but anything higher than that eventually will. Or I don't say technically lower, because lower the grit, the more deep the scratches. So I went ahead and buried the crap out of this with some primer, and it's looking really good. As you can tell, I ran it, but I wanted to go thick, and of course the can was like super crappy at first. So, and obviously I'm sanding this down before I'm wrapping over it, but it looks way better with primer on it now. It looks like I did a pretty decent job, at least to where you won't see very many waves or anything. At least obviously that's the goal. It'll be a little different once I sand it down. But yeah, you could probably have gotten away with just like wrapping right over the bodywork once it was sanded smooth, because I don't think wrap really shows scratches like that. But like I said, I just wanted to be sure, and eventually we're probably gonna paint this thing, you know, one of these days along the road. So that way, once the car gets unwrapped, it'll be basically ready to go, like just a scuff and shoot basically. So I just wanted to make sure the bodywork was really nice and smooth. So I'm gonna have to let this dry overnight before I sand it, and probably next time I start filming will be hopefully when the wrap's here. I still need to take the stripes off of the hood, and then once the wrap gets here, obviously I'll need to do the mirrors and the door handles on both sides. But other than that, yeah, that's where we're gonna start at. So I will see you once we get the wrap. So first, just to show you guys, that's all sanded down. And it seems like it's all pretty smooth. So it's ready. And in the last clip, I think I told you guys that the wrap was gonna be here the next day, which would be today. It's like almost 4 in the morning and the hood is done. I'm very excited with how this turned out. I did the hood first because it was gonna be the hardest for sure. It was definitely challenging, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. It looks really good. There's like nothing wrong with it at all. Obviously the grill piece here is out because it's still blue and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna match. I don't know if I'm gonna do the rings, the headlight rings in white, or if I'm gonna do them in carbon fiber, and that will probably decide what I'm gonna do the other part of the grill, because it's basically just like this bottom piece, except the top line right here is chrome, and then there's 3 blue strips. So I'm assuming I'll probably go carbon and then white, but I could also go white and then carbon, because it would kind of break up that. I don't know, it's gonna depend. So I don't know, but here's the sneak peek of what the color is, and so you can kind of get a taste, you know, carbon, white, carbon. I just don't want there to be too much carbon, so I'm just kind of waiting on that. But I wanted to get the hood done so bad, and that's why I'm up at 4 in the morning still, and it's a Wednesday. But it's okay, totally worth it. I went ahead, I had to take the it's like a heat foam padding stuff that's normally on like hoods and stuff. So I had to take all that out to get to the windshield wiper nozzles or sprayers. The headlights are super weird to take out. Obviously I had to take the hood scoop out, I took the grill out, but I'm just like so stoked because this is the first thing that I've really like wrapped. That was really hard because like all the curves and like this part right here, and it really fought me here because coming down here you're kind of pulling all the vinyl out this way, and then it like bunches up again right there because of this curve. It brings it back, so it was all bunching up right in this area. And yeah, I don't know, I'm so stoked with how it looks though. So I think that'll probably be the end of this video. The vinyl literally just got here today, and Jay's mom texted me and said that her coilovers came in the mail. So I'm gonna have to not have to rush, but I want to get this done pretty like as fast as I can, obviously. And then the next part, not the next part, but the next video will be me finishing this wrap and showing you guys how it all looks, all, you know, white and carbon. And then why I said video series on my Instagram is because, like I said, she got coilovers for it. So I'm also going to be installing, hopefully with some help from friends, coilovers on this car as well. So this car is like getting completely redone, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait for Jay to see it. I know that she would be freaking out right now if she just saw the hood and you know, the little bits of carbon that I have. So if you guys are watching right now, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, obviously, like I said before, to be even doing this, and just the fact that people want to follow along with me. So I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next video where hopefully it's all completely done, because I don't see where I'm gonna have any stopping issues, you know, any problems. So stay tuned, and thanks again.